sending content to a user in a way that doesn't annoy them, so they're unlikely to report your spam. Like it's like a lot of magical stuff that you need to do, which is, so there's two ways how you can sort of solve these problems. So one is the cheap way, which means it costs you nothing. It's called spin tags. You just randomize the content within the email. So an example would be like, you're essentially saying the same thing, but using different words. So example is like, hey, hi, hello, right? So you're saying really the same thing, but using 3 different words. So you want to at least spin tags that initial email, at least initial email, 50% of the time. So there are some tools, like including our tools, so like in SalesForge, you can just click on the button, it's called auto spin tags, and boom, it just spin tags for you, right? So it's called spin tags. You can just Google it. And the second thing, which is really the superior way, is what I call the programmatic way, where you're computing each email in the language of the customer, right? So you're not delivering like emails just in English. But let's say you're in Europe or some other parts of the world. You're actually delivering emails in different languages, and you're always making sure it's relevant. How can you make it relevant? Do I just change some stuff and then like, whatever? So the worst emails. So a lot of people say they use AI, like in their tools. Well, what AI kind of means is like, they only talk about the product. So you're essentially sending an emails like, hey, John, I was wondering whether you need this product, whatever, So they only talking about themselves. But the best emails are the ones that can sort of beautifully blend what we call the seller data, right? So why the heck are you reaching out to me? What do we know about each and every individual based on publicly available data sets, So what a typical SDR does, manually goes, checks LinkedIn website, and then tries to figure out what can I say to this person in a way that they would respond to me, right? And these days you can scrape anything on the web, right? Websites, LinkedIn, even podcasts, even me talking in podcast. Somebody will go take this podcast. It will check, what did Frank say? And then we'll latch on a particular thing that I said right now. And somebody will send me an email in the future. It will literally, it's already happening. You can already do that. So essentially you're using some sort of information to really crowd great emails. Typically the best data or the richest data is on LinkedIn, really, like that contact level data, right? So what do we know about Frank? So we go on LinkedIn in real time. We take the headline. We take the about section, the title. What is in the job description? So what does Frank do? So you also want to kind of not take the wrong stuff into computation, right? And because of that, you typically see better deliverability and the higher reply rates, right? Because think of it this way. So if I send a template to 100 people, and it's the best template, but I'm going to send to 100 people, I'm going to get a reply rate of X, let's say 1%. Mm-hmm. But if you actually custom craft and make the email relevant to each and one of those recipients, of course, you should see higher reply rates, right? It kind of makes sense, right? Even theoretically. So typically that lift is at least a 2x relative lift. So if your reply rate is 1%, we'd probably expect a 2%. And then the final thing is the targeting. So we can have the best infrastructure, the best sending software, the best copy. But if you're sending it to the wrong people, guess what they will do? They will mark you as spam and nothing will happen. So like making sure you're targeting the right people is super important.
Right. Yeah. That last part, I would say, should be the first part. If you're not sending it to the right people, then why even send an email? Why even trying for deliverability or infrastructure?